The story of Gabby Petito's disappearance made nationwide headlines in 2021. But since her death, her parents have learned so much more about what she was going through in the weeks and months before she was killed.
Yeah, and Gabby's parents sat down with me recently. They told me that they are on a mission to turn their tragedy into purpose, hoping to raise awareness about the warning signs of domestic violence and sharing with everyone the Gabby they knew and loved. It's a story that captivated the nation.
Wow, on this Gabby Petito case.
Dominating social media and news coverage, now the subject of new headlines with a just-released docuseries, American Murder, Gabby Petito, now streaming on Netflix.
You know what is my absolute favorite part about the van?
Gabby Petito's parents and their spouses, who raised her as a unit for so many years, sitting down together as a blended family.
Marking.
The whole world was looking for her.
We would have went to the edge of the earth to find her.
We really had hope. We really did. Because there's a million different scenarios that could play out just the same. Hurt in the wilderness, bad reception, you know, all that stuff.
But it would all end in tragedy. Everyone knows this story. When people hear her name, what is it that you want them to think about?
That she wasn't just a victim, she was a person. She was an artist. She loved life, she loved adventure.
Gabby was a really good person. She really tried to get the best or see the best in people.
Gabby's parents told me reliving these horrific days is hard, especially when they remember that day in September 2021 when her body was found.
Jim had to make it's safe to say, the worst phone call you've ever had to make. I don't even know how he made it.
I remember every waking moment of that day, September 19th.
On September 19th, the FBI announced that they had located remains just outside Grand Teton National Park in Bridger Teton National Forest.
Human remains were discovered, consistent with the description of Gabby Petito.
They came in and they said, we found remains consistent of your daughter. We won't know until we do a forensic autopsy, but you have to call your family. And there was another girl missing around the same time who fit her description. And I remember I was crying. And I said, you have to be sure, I have to be sure if I'm making this phone call, remains consistent. What does that mean? It could mean it's not her. I said, you have to give me something more than that. And they did. They showed me pictures. And I confirmed it was our daughter.
I don't know how we did that.
Just hearing it, it's like you can't.
That was the worst phone call
of
my life.
I'm 2,000 miles away. I don't have my family with me. I can't hold her. I can't hold my other children. I said, I'm going to bring our daughter home no matter what. I'm not leaving there until I have her. And yeah, I lost a big part of myself, part of us, our family that day.
We're not the same people we were before this happened. There was life before and life after.
The cause of death, manual strangulation. When you look back at all the stuff that happened, were there any red flags that this was coming?
Yes, there were, but we didn't notice them at the time.
Could you sense if he was controlling her?
So Gabby didn't come up to us and say, he's doing this. It's things that we would notice, again, after the fact. We can see that that pattern was part of that progression that she was in. Domestic violence. There's so many versions of it, and a lot of people don't even know where to go when they're in it. Knowing what we know now, we see that progression that happened. Alienation of friends and family.
Isolation.
But it's hard to pick up, but when you get a high-level view, and you can see the path that was leading to, and that's part that is hard for us.
And that's one of the reasons why we started the foundation, the Gabby Petito Foundation, to teach others and other parents. There might be some tips that you could talk to your child about. Try to let them know that you are there for them and that there are resources out there.
We get messages all the time from people saying, I didn't realize I was in a bad relationship or potentially violent relationship until I saw her story. I saw it, I got help, and I safely got out. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, Yeah, and those stories mean so much to her parents. Her parents started the Gabby Petito Foundation in her memory. Their goal is to change domestic violence laws across the country and help find other missing people, and they've already really had an impact in that. We're going to have much more of this interview tonight in a brand new episode of 2020.
You did a remarkable job, as the Petito family is doing as well. A remarkable job
incredible people.
finding their purpose in this terrible tragedy. All right.